Hey everybody, welcome back. HollywoodPizza here. We're going to be playing some Mono Green Devotion today, that's right. Pretty much the boogeyman of the format, at least the Explorer format, and Pioneer, we all know that this deck's popular as well, but pretty much the point of the deck is that it's built around a lot of green creatures that have a lot of mana symbols, green mana symbols in them, and we can use our Nykthos, which is a legendary land. You can tap 2 colorless, tap it to add an amount of your Devotion, which is the green mana symbols that you control and play. And you get that much mana. So when you have Old Growth Trolls, Cavalier Thorns, Nissas, kind of just like a few Llanowar Elves, Wolfwillow Havens, you can end up generating a ton of mana, and you can use that mana to essentially dump it into cards like Storm the Festival, which let you look at the top 5 cards of your library. You get to put 2 permanent cards from among them, mana value 5 or less, on the battlefield. The rest go on the bottom, and then you get to flash it back for 10 mana. A lot of the time, you're kind of able to easily flash it back with that Nykthos, considering you can make a ton of green mana symbols in play. And our other big mana dump is going to be Karn, which is just a phenomenal card. It gives us a little bit of a toolbox sideboard. The best part about this deck is that you actually don't really need too much sideboarding, considering most of the time you're actually just going to keep running the same cards that you already have here in every single matchup. Sometimes you might bring in like a hate card if you need to kind of give you a little bit of an edge in game 1, game 2, things like that. But a lot of the time, you're mostly just going to be searching for whatever artifacts you need in certain situations. For our sideboard, we kind of have a mix of some Graveyard Hate. We have Pithy Needle stop things like Planeswalkers. A Karn Silex has been really, really great against specific matchups where you can kind of just exile the board. We have a Seeker's Chariot to give us something that's going to be wide against control. Sky Sovereign, just a great grindy card. Great Henge to help go over the top of the other green decks, things like that. But overall, there's a lot of different options with the Karn. And to help us kind of get to all these spells, as we mentioned, we have 8 1-drop elves that tap for mana to help go from turn 1 into turn 3, and then into turn 4 and 5, or if we get a couple of them down, plus the Wolfwillow Haven that lets any land that we enchant with this add an additional green mana. We can get to our Cavalier Thorns pretty quickly, which can then hit the Nykthos and set us up for kind of like an absurd turn where we're getting Storm the Festival with the Karn and a Kiora, and then we're using the Kiora to untap our Nykthos, make a bunch more mana. Kiora is really good as well, where it can kind of act like a little bit of a mini Henge, where you're not necessarily like getting the +1/+1 counter on your creatures, but anytime you play something power 4 greater, you get to draw a card, which does happen quite a bit with our Left Struck Beasts, the All Growth Trolls, and the Cavalier and Thorns. But I know I've had a blast playing this deck. It's a ton of fun. You can do a lot of crazy things with Nykthos. I actually think it's a really great deck to be able to rank up on the ladder. It does take a little bit of some practice, I think, up front, if this isn't a type of deck that you've played before, these big mana type of decks, but I think they're a blast. I definitely recommend them for our tournaments. There was a deck list that got 3rd in our last Explorer event, and there were a few that almost top 8'd as well. So I actually think this is just a great choice in the metagame overall in tournaments and in the MTGA ladder. So let's go ahead and jump into some games. This is better. We put a Nykthos back. We can use a Wolfwillow Haven. And we're really just looking to draw a land, though. Or else our hand's super risky. Okay. We have 4 mana next turn, so if we top deck Karn, we can play it. Looks like opponent is potentially on Gruul, Beatdown, or like the legendary deck. Oh, that's really bad for us. Well, we do get a basic, but unfortunately our Wolfwillow Haven comes off. Right, we do get a Kiora, though. Yeah, it does look like it could end up being a Ponza deck, land destruction. I mean, we have Nissa. Or, I think Cavalier is just better, right? Because Nissa, like the creature, could die. I would rather Cavalier. Cavalier also gets us closer to Devotion. We'll have 4 Devotion with that. We hit a Forest. And we draw a Nykthos. Okay, that's fine. So they're going to stomp the Kiora. If they just play Bone Crusher, we're pretty happy about that. They're definitely playing like a mid-rangey Gruul deck. Let's see what else their deck comprises of here. 4 mana, yep, just a Bone Crusher. So we could Nissa. So we want to do this first. We just play Nissa for free. We have 7 devotion. I mean, I'm swinging. We're way ahead of our opponent here. That's fine. And we untap the Cavalier in case they play like a Questing Beast or something. We wouldn't be getting anything crazy back yet, though, unfortunately. Yeah, 5 cards. Opponent definitely going to the tank here. If they had trolls, it would be pretty good for them because they would get to blow up our Nykthos, but we do have a backup Nykthos, which is really nice. We're obviously looking for like Storm the Festival at this point to kind of keep a lot of the gas going. And they can blow this up. Go get a land. And let's see. I mean, they're definitely pointing to it. I doubt that they play like Burning Hands main deck. Alright, another Nissa. Can we seriously make this a 13-13? That seems absurd. But okay. I guess we just make a 13-13 and attack for lethal. I don't think that they can kill this, right? Did they have Boseiju at instant speed? Still hit them for 8. Alright, combat. Wow, we could have made it even bigger. That's kind of hilarious. I don't think they can kill this. If they have Boseiju, okay, sure. Damn it. That was pretty cool, though. Alright, we got him at 5. I don't even mind doing this. We have, like, infinite mana right now. Make another creature off this Nissa. Play the backup Nissa. Make another creature, and we have lethal. Seems pretty good. Cleanse and Wildfire. I mean, it's pretty bad against us because we have a ton of basics. It's going to be really good against a lot of other decks in the format, though, you know? I mean, they're just dead. Yep. Alright, so... pretty quick game against, like, Gruul mid-range or something like that. If we do want some land destruction of our own, we have Field of Ruin. Like, Field of Ruin would be okay to play, but this deck really wants green. I think it's potentially worth playing one for the mirror. Or for like opposing creature lands, because creature lands are always going to be like your bane, right? Just because you don't have any instant speed interaction against them. Like, yeah, you can Pithing Needle it with Karn, but like that's fine. I've done that before and it's won me some games. Alright, let's see what our opponent's up to here. See how they sideboard. Yeah, that's the main problem too, is like if you play more colorless lands, you run into the issue of you not being able to cast your green cards. Like, you want to play all Growth Troll on time. I think this is fine. Like, we have a lot of ways to overcome land destruction. And we're just going to play all Growth Troll now anyways. Okay, Rolling Vortex, sure, we'll take a point of damage, but we can race them better with Troll. If they have Obliterating Bolt, then it's fine. We can just play Kiora into Elvish Mystic. Or if we top deck a land, we could Wolflow Haven into Kiora into the Mystic. Okay, so we're going to take some more damage. And I'm honestly just going to keep the Trolls going. Our opponent has to deal with these 4/4s with Trample. And on top of that, they gave themselves a little bit of a clock with the Rolling Vortex as well. Like, yeah, if we cast anything for free, we're going to take damage, or, you know, we can't really gain life, but by having an aggressive start like this, it doesn't matter that we can't gain life, because our opponent's going to be at a lot lower life total than we are. And their deck's kind of weird. They're playing, like, Growl Werewolf mid-range or something. I take the damage. That's one less blocker our opponent has. Okay, so they have Alpine Moon. They can name Nykthos, which essentially gets rid of all the abilities on Nykthos. So we won't be able to use it. But that's okay. We're attacking for a lot of damage here. Yeah, so Nykthos doesn't have an ability right now. But we don't really care too much about that. We're gonna cast Kiora. It's probably best just to untap the better card anyways. Play a Mystic. Can't really use the green for anything, but in case we could have, we're just going to come in for 8. Our opponent is now on a 6-turn clock. We're at 15 with a Planeswalker on the battlefield as well. Cavalier Thorns, that's probably going to come down next turn. Yeah, I'm blocking one of these, sure. If they want to waste more resources on the Kiora, we're pretty happy with that. They do have 5 mana. Alright, they gotta burn down the house, that's fine. Sure. So we still get to have Cavalier next turn. We take 1. I don't think there's a way to hold these up to get the 4/4, unfortunately. Just gonna hold the 4s for the bluff next turn. I think we pass the instant speed and then make 2 4/4s. I mean, they're just gonna die to their own vortex eventually, right? Okay, they have a Cleansing Wildfire, sure. Do get a Forest. So unfortunately we're not going to get that 4/4 Troll, but... Alright, yeah, that should pretty much seal the deal here. Yep, we just attack through, they take 3, and then they take 1 more in upkeep. So pretty easy matchup there, I think.
This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Gonna be on the play for this one. And it's a little bit of an awkward keep. We only have Wolfwillow Haven as an early play. Being on the play, though, I really don't think we want a mulligan. I think this hand's fine. There's a lot of gas in our deck that we could draw to give us a little bit of, like, some early game pressure, anything like that. Oh, well, we're drawing our lands, which is good. It means that we're getting closer to our Nissa and the Storm the Festival. And it looks like there are potentially some grindy deck. Okay, Thoughtseize gonna take the Nissa. I would think it's the Nissa. We don't really have anything else going on right now. Alright, All-Growth Trolls. Pretty nice here. Might have wanted to play the Nykthos there, but I think it's okay. We actually have Storm the Festival next turn if they don't deal with the Troll, but it's more likely they have an Answer, or maybe they're playing Reanimator. Okay. So they're playing Greasefang, and we draw like the perfect card for Greasefang. That feels pretty good. Yep, just gonna Karn. Just gonna go get Hearse and play it. Attack for 4. And pass the turn back. So they won't be able to get back the Skyship because we have a Hearse. Okay, that's fine. So we'll get rid of the Mending and the Skyship. We'll play a Storm the Festival. Oh, unfortunately we didn't downtick on the Karn. These aren't really cards we want. Ooh. So definitely a bad decision on my part on not downticking on the Karn. Yeah, it feels pretty bad. Especially because we have to put one on the bottom. We'll attack for 4. If they block, it's fine. We still have Hearse. Karn shuts off their artifacts so they can't crew. Yeah, Mortal Sun might actually be pretty good too in the deck. Just because Immortal Sun shuts off... It does shut off your Planeswalkers, but you're usually okay with doing it, knowing that it's going to stop whatever the opponent's up to. Alright, so they get a redraw here. We'll just exile a couple cards from their graveyard. Can't really do anything. We just play Nissa. Can uptick on Karn, sure. I was about to say we're hoping to hit another Nissa, but this is pretty good. Or excuse me, another Storm the Festival, I guess. Or Nykthos or something like that. Alright, I think we got him there. Oh, we only get him down to 1? Okay, that's fine. So they have a turn to do some crazy stuff? Okay, that's fine. Supreme Verdict, interesting. I mean, if we're coming in with style. Play Nykthos, Storm the Festival again. Vivian's Bow would be a pretty good option for the sideboard. Yeah, they can't. Our opponent was not able to get there anyways, just because they had a lot going on. We can keep this, I think. I guess, like, Vivs is, like, a little bit too slow. Like, you just want to be winning the game quickly, right? I mean, you can get Cavalier. I think there's gotta maybe be, like, another way to... we're gonna get Thought Seized. Oh. There goes the Llanowar Elf. It does grab Cavalier, but I don't know if it would be that nuts. Wow, our opponent literally had nothing. Okay. I mean, we're coming in for damage. Alright. Alright, we're just gonna pass here. I could see if you're playing like the Gargaroth main. Alright. We're just gonna Storm. Hitting a Karn, maybe. Nope, no Karn. We actually get 2 Kiora triggers, which is kind of nutty too. Oh, that's pretty good. Cancel. Can't make a land drop. Alright, just pass the turn. I mean, we're definitely in trouble if they are able to do the combo here. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing about Leveler. You can just keep grabbing it with the Karn. Like, if it gets exiled, you're happy about it. Because you know that you're going to exile off the Unearth. Or you can use your own Karn to... so they're just going to kill this. That's fine. This will go to 1. I think I'm pretty happy with that, though, right? That's not really that crazy. Well, we obviously would rather have that in play more than anything.
And I couldn't find a place.
Hey, D20 coming in hot with the raid. Thank you so much, homie. Really appreciate that. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day, great night, wherever you're at in the world. Could we have just killed them with the Lair of the Hydra? Am I just like overthinking this sometimes? Yeah, we probably could have just killed them with the Lair of the Hydra. I mean, they also don't really have too much going on. Kind of an easy couple games against a matchup that is actually kind of a nightmare sometimes, especially if they're able to combo out quickly, so. Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book store's got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. And it looks like we're going to be on the play again, which feels pretty good. I think this is a pretty capable hand. We have Llanowar and Tekiora. And then obviously we have the Karn Father. So we're just hoping that Karn Daddy gets us there. Okay, looks like we're up against potentially a control deck. I think we pass here. So they're tapped out. I think we're just going for Planeswalkers on Planeswalkers here. Be really cool to be able to play Stonebrain. But we don't have that ability to. Could Pithing Needle early. They could have a, like, we could grab the Stonebrain and then wait a turn to do it. Maybe they have a portable hole though, either way for the Pithing Needle. Stonebrain does mean that they have to keep up the counterspell though. Not hitting a land's pretty bad there. I mean, we're gonna jam it. Sure. Maybe could have chained out a Cavalier. I like just having a threat that they eventually will have to deal with. Probably have a counter spell here, I would imagine. Or maybe they just have Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor would be pretty annoying because they can make a token and then find a way to kill the Karn, unfortunately. Nykthos is fine. So, do they have a way to... I guess they have a Field of Ruin, unfortunately. Yeah, that's fine.
And I couldn't find a place.
Blue Robot also coming in with the raid. Thank you so much, homie. Really, really appreciate that. Welcome in, everybody. Much appreciated, man. Thank you so much for the love. Can we get a shout out for Blue Robot, please? Let's see. Can't we just cast Storm the Festival? Wow, we actually take that match down and we get into Platinum. Man. Some people really just don't like playing against this deck. Thanks again for the raid. Really, really appreciate that. We'll see you in the next match. Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below, and on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you. You can definitely get in on some tournaments. We're going to be on the play here to start this matchup. I think that we keep this hand, even though it's a little bit awkward. We have enough mana to cast all the spells in our deck. And we have a good start with our Llanowar Elf into our Old Growth Troll with a Nykthos, so let's see if we can kind of get some of that quick game plan and ramp action going. But for anybody coming in, there's the link just dropped right now by Stream Elements. And here's a link as well to sign up to the tournaments. All are free to play, cash prizes. 3 a month, definitely get in on that. I believe our opponent took a mulligan, so it's looking pretty good for us here. And we're going to start off with this Llanowar Elf. And we're hoping that our Llanowar Elf survives so we can get this Old Growth Troll down. If it doesn't, we still have a turn 3 Troll. And yep, just going to Troll here. Maybe Kiora was a little bit better because we'll get a redraw, but yeah, I honestly think we want to get the beat down against this deck as fast as we can. It looks like we're up against Angels. Definitely a pretty scary deck. Alright, well, we have the mana, so we're hoping to hit a Karn because then we can get the Leveler to start to kill some of their permanents. Okay, they're going to gain some life here, unfortunately. Alright, Forest, definitely not the card we want to see. So it might have been better to hold off with the Old Growth Troll until we actually were able to get a draw from the Kiora, but at the same time, we can't really be too greedy. Okay. So they're going to come in. Okay, so they have another bishop. Yikes, they're getting a lot of life here. Okay, we had a Lovestruck Beast. I think that's okay. Let's make the 1/1. Let's redraw off the Lovestruck Beast. Wolf Willow, not really what we want to see still. We're going to attack for 4. Nah, let's pass. I actually don't really play paper Magic. I'm teaching someone how to play right now. So we're playing in paper, but I don't really have any cards at all. I have like commons and uncommons mostly. I don't plan on playing paper anytime soon unless I get like a commander deck or something, but ugh, our opponent's just gaining so much life right now. This is pretty killer. And they have a Valkyrie. Well, we definitely got flooded out a bit here. Yep, gonna attack the Kiora, seems pretty good. So Kiora's gonna go to 1. We still have a chance if we draw a Karn here. Because we'll get to kill the Valkyrie and then start to kill all their permanents one by one. They are at 35, but still manageable. Hey, thanks so much, E20. Have a great rest of the night. Thanks so much for the raid. Really appreciate you. If y'all haven't already, definitely go check out D20's stream. Great friend of ours. Alright, let's save the Kiora for a turn. Just because we want to be able to untap our Nykthos at least once. Alright, unfortunately we didn't hit anything but lands that game, so definitely going to be hard to beat our opponent when that's all that happens. Not really much sideboarding going on most of the time with this deck, considering we have the Karn Wishboard. And we're really just hoping for like a pretty good start against them here. Let's see if we can make it happen. Thanks again, everybody, for the love, for the raids. Really appreciate y'all being here. And we're going to go and keep this. For the viewers on YouTube, don't forget, check out all the links in the description. We've got links for the deck lists, for the tournaments. Lots of good stuff going on down there, so check all that out. And don't forget to find me on twitch.tv/HollywoodPizza, where you can find me 3 times a week pushing for partner. And playing some cool decks, all in the same time while we rank up. Let's get a Llanowar Elf down. It's a bit sketchy, obviously we don't have our second land. But we draw it anyways. I think we're going to go for triple 1-drop here, because it actually gets us to our Cavalier. And I just think getting closer to Nykthos is better, because it means that we're going to be able to kind of just like go off on our opponent. On top of that, this card has reach, so we can definitely stop any flyers they have for a couple turns. And we do end up hitting the Nykthos here, which is nice. We don't have any good attacks, but we're still just 1 Karn away from kind of taking over the game. Alright, Righteous Valkyrie. A bit annoying, but we still have a chance here. I think we kind of have to attack to get their life total down enough, even though we want to keep this back to block. I actually don't really think it matters that much. Alright, we'll make 9 mana. Get to cast that. And both of our Love-Struck Beasts. So even if our opponent gains a lot of life, we can start to swing back for quite a bit. Okay, Resplendent Angel's good. They're going to get a bunch of triggers, gain a bunch of life. Get another Angel. All their creatures are going to be big. So still looking for the Karn game plan here. We just haven't been able to draw it. Yep. Alright, so all we hit is a Mystic. Definitely not what you want to see. We can't really attack. They're probably just going to make some more angels, so... I don't really think there's a way for us to win this game anymore, unfortunately. We could just make this, like, ridiculously huge. And then just come in with that. They have to block. Like, they're going to take a lot of damage. And it'll at least bring them back down again to the point where they have to play some more angels to gain life again. So this is kind of our only play right now. They could chump block with the token. So then their creatures stay, like, massively big. But they end up taking it. They can probably just gain a bunch more life right now with the Collected Company. And yep, they hit 2 more bishops, so they're just going to gain a ton of life. And then they're going to get an angel off of gaining all the life from the Resplendent. Let's see what we draw here. We still got a chance if we can draw a Storm the Festival, but unfortunately we just hit another forest. So got flooded that match. Didn't really get to do our game plan, and our opponent got to do their game plan pretty quickly and often, so... Alright, and we're back for the post game here. Definitely a lot of fun with the deck. Did some pretty crazy things, and as you can see, there was actually some matches where our opponents kind of didn't want to play against us. And you can also see some of the bad matchups that this deck has, like red deck wins, angels, things like that. It has a little bit of a harder time against some of the aggro decks, considering that the aggro decks can get under it. Or like in Angel's case, they all have flying, and they could start to gain just an absurd amount of life, and it's just going to be hard for you to keep up unless we use like our Karn, Silex, to kind of like wipe the board or things like that. So a lot of the time, Karn, Storm the Festival, these are going to be very important in you getting to your game plan or kind of just going over the top of your opponent. And you got to remember that your Cures and your Land Elves are mostly just there to kind of just like ramp you as fast as you can. So don't be afraid to kind of cast some Cures early over maybe even like Old Growth Trolls, knowing that you just need that additional ramp instead. But definitely recommend this deck in a competitive setting. If you enjoy the content, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, bell notification, leave a comment down below. I host 3 tournaments a month, all are free to play with cash prizes. You can find links to that, the deck list, and all my content, including my Twitch stream link as well, down below in the description. And I hope that you stay cheesy.